Hello there, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. And welcome to another of my Am I a Chap series. However, today has a twist. I am not going to be critiquing some images sent in by a gentleman of their overall outfit. On this occasion, we're just going to look at a specific element of a gentleman's outfit: the shoes. They're so important, they get their own episode. And this is all spawned from an email communication which I've received from a viewer called N91 using a code name. Okay, so what they say to me is this: Ash, I would like to ask your thoughts and advice. Currently, I own 8 pairs of shoes, and I'm seriously considering stopping buying shoes in the future. Can you give me convincing reasons that the collection that I presently have is enough for my needs and could provide versatility in the future? Or give me reasons why I should stop buying and instead enjoy them as they are today. There are 8 shoes which I've got in front of me here. I'm going to tell you what N91 has in their collection, what I think of those shoes, and what gaps I think they have in their collection which needs to be filled before you could say I've drawn a line under my shoe collecting days. But I think it's fair to say that N91 has hit a point in his sartorial journey towards Chap Nirvana that many of us find ourselves in at some point or another. Namely, we just keep buying things, we keep acquiring. This is one of the downsides of being an aficionado of men's style. It's the fact that you keep seeing things that you want to add to the collection. And shoes can become a very addictive part of being somebody who likes to be a snappy dresser. But let's have a look at the collection of shoes which N91 previously has and have a little conversation around them. Now, the first shoe in the collection is from American brand Allen Edmonds. Now, I don't know if N91 is an American, but I'm going to guess he is, judging by the collection of shoes which he has. So Allen Edmonds, of course, are a very sort of established heritage footwear brand in the United States of America. They're most famous for making their Goodyear welted shoes in the traditional dress shoe styles. And there's a few shoes from Allen Edmonds here. So let's have a look at the shoes which N91 has in their collection. Now, the first shoe he has is an Allen Edmonds dark brown quarter brogue Oxford. Oxford is just the lacing style. Let's not get distracted by that. The important thing to focus on here is the style of shoe and its aesthetic. And let's have a look. Dark brown, quarter brogue. Quarter broguing is just over the top of the toe cap. You'll find some broguing, some punched elements of the leather. And in this case, a dark brown quarter brogue called the Fifth Avenue in the Allen Edmonds collection. They're a very stable, very solid, Goodyear welted, classic dress shoe. And very versatile, in fact. Dark brown, good colour. It's something that could go with many different colours of your ensemble of clothing. You know, navies, greys, all that sort of thing, all the browns, all the greens. They all go quite nicely with dark brown. And the dark brown quarter brogue is a solid, dependable shoe. It's veering towards slightly formal. But the little bit of broguing across the toe cap tells us that it's not quite super formal. It can be pressed into service in sort of more semi-formal, smart casual situations. I own quite a few pairs of quarter brogues and I find them very, very versatile to wear across the broadest range of my clothing. So it's definitely a tick for me with the quarter brogue by Allen Edmonds. Now, the next shoe, also by Allen Edmonds, is a half brogue Oxford in a mahogany colour. Now, Allen Edmonds, as I say, it's been around for quite a while. Let's have a look. What's the date? 1922. Allen Edmonds was founded, so they're past their centenary year now by a couple of years. And they're still made in Port Washington in Wisconsin, in the States. So they are an embedded part of the American style culture. Most people in America, when embarking upon maybe a dress shoe purchasing decision, we'll first look at Allen Edmonds, because these are the quintessential shoe which you will see the business classes in the States choosing because they're readily available. Absolutely not available here in the UK and Europe. In fact, in England, where I am, we have the epicenter of men's Goodyear welted shoe manufacturing for the world in Northamptonshire. So I can understand why Allen Edmonds have never got a foothold here. You could buy them online, actually. They do have a UK internet store, but very popular in the States. And what we have here, a mahogany coloured half brogue. So not a huge leap from where we just were. The half brogue, the difference from the original shoe that we've just spoken of, is within the half brogue we get an extension of the broguing onto the medallion, or the front, the toe cap of the shoe, and quite often we will find additional broguing around the vamp, the edges of the vamp, and just decoratively around the hindquarters of the shoe, and the lacing system as well. It makes it a little bit more of a flamboyant shoe. It adds a lot more character to the shoe, in my opinion. I also own several pairs of semi-brogues myself, or half brogues as N91 described them, and I find them again very flexible. They are, by definition, the more broguing, the more casual the shoe technically becomes. But in this modern world, any dress shoe is kind of acceptable for business wear. But with the more broguing, particularly in a nice rich mahogany colour as described here, I find them very attractive. Now, Allen Edmonds call their semi-brogues their strand model, and they are very popular in the States. Mahogany, a great colour for all the same reasons as I said with the dark brown, because they're versatile across a wider range. But with a semi-brogue or half brogue, a little bit more casual. Yes, you can certainly wear them with your chinos. Yes, you can even wear them with a nice dark mahogany colour, maybe with a pair of denim jeans. If you need to go that sort of hybrid, casual, semi-formal in appearance. I do like these. They're a definite tick in my box here. Two good pair of shoes that we've seen so far. And now we're staying with Allen Edmonds for this third pair, which is a plain cap-toe Oxford in a burgundy colour. Now, Park Avenue is what Allen Edmonds call their plain cap-toe Oxford, and it's much like we've just seen. But this time there is no broguing, there's no decoration, no adornment. It's a simple, classically elegant shoe, and this would be a typical shoe in the business side of dressing. The reason, the less decoration, the more formal the shoe is. And burgundy is one of my favourite colours when it comes to shoes. Now, when I was a younger fellow, and I'll admit this openly, I used to think burgundy shoes, what's all that about? Who the hell wears burgundy shoes? I used to think to myself, if it's not black and it's not brown, that's all I'm interested in. I bought a pair of burgundy shoes some years later, and the scales fell from my eyes. I had my Damascene moment when it comes to footwear, because I then realised burgundy was such a practical colour. It goes with just about everything. It's also a colour which patinas beautifully over the passing of time, and it's just, for me, the perfect colour when it comes to men's style. You can wear them with jeans, you can wear them with chinos, you can wear them with grey flannel slacks, navy suits, grey suits, brown suits, you name it, burgundy has got your back. And for me, it's a great colour. Now, when we look at the plain cap-toe Oxford, the one great advantage we have with this shoe, which we don't really have quite so much when we have broguing on shoes, is we can bring that toe cap up to a remarkable mirror shine. And when people see us, their eyes will be drawn to the shoes and they will immediately identify. We are smart, we are elegant, we are an intentionally well-dressed man. So for me, this Park Avenue plain cap-toe Oxford in burgundy is the best shoe in this collection so far, because, if you're smart dressing gentlemen, this has got you covered. Now, going somewhat less formal now and leaving the continent of America as a shoe manufacturer, we come to the UK, because the next shoe is a Barker. It's a Barker Bailey model, ebony calf, full brogue wingtip with a contrast sole. Now, Barker is one of the classic British heirloom shoe manufacturers. They've been around since 1880. I was at their factory earlier this year, paying a visit, and I went to their factory store. I saw the factory. It's right in the heart of Northamptonshire, and they, to this day, make magnificent hand-lasted shoes in the traditional way. I believe they make something to the tune of 200,000 pairs of handmade shoes per year. So they're by no means a bulk manufacturer. They're not churning out millions of shoes. 200,000 is, still relatively a lot of human interaction with each pair. And this pair of shoes is a full wingtip brogue. So full brogue. The whole shoe has broguing throughout, and that wingtip tells us that, at the front you have that sort of little upturn in the center of the toe cap. Full brogue. I really like full brogues. I own several pairs in many different colours because whilst the full wingtip brogue style lends towards the casual, it tends to be highly wearable in this modern world where there's a blurring between formal and casual. So I really like this shoe, but it's definitely a casual shoe. We've moved from the three initial shoes, which were firmly in the sort of formal business smart camp. Now we're into the bit more casual, and for two reasons. Firstly, full broguing. The more broguing, the more casual. But the thing which really defines this shoe is that contrasting coloured sole. You can see where the sole and the welt are a lighter colour from the body of the shoe, and definitely brings down the temperature in terms of its formality. I really like it though. This is the sort of shoe which you would wear with a pair of jeans, denim jeans, or maybe a pair of chinos in the summer. You could still wear a blazer with it. It's still quite formal in this modern world. I also like the colour. That colour is going to patina beautifully. It's going to look better as the years progress. You can see that in the factory sort of version here, they've reduced the formality even further by putting a contrasting coloured pair of shoelaces with this shoe. So again, reducing the temperature of the formality here. You could change those laces and it would increase the formality, but I like it. I think it's a really nice shoe in a lovely colour, slight burnishing to the toe cap. It's a shoe which is going to be ultimately very, very wearable. Yeah, lovely. Nice shoe altogether. So moving on, we're now moving into the, I would suggest, somewhat less formal element of N91 shoe collection. And the first of which is a brand I'd never heard of before personally, because it's an American brand. And it's Samuel Hubbard. Now, Hubbard's American-owned company. They make their shoes, though, in Portugal. Portugal has got a rich history of shoe manufacturing, so no qualms about the quality there. Hubbard's have been around since 1930. My understanding is they've sort of changed hands recently, been owned by Rockport, then been owned by a family company at the moment. The shoe which we're looking at here is an Ivy Legend loafer in tan with a Vibram sole, and they cost around $200 US. So I'm kind of lost for words to be diplomatically nice about these. I don't love them, that's the best thing I can say. Their appearance is less than classic. They look somewhat inexpensive. The quality of the leather doesn't look top end. But I'm sure they're very comfortable. So if this is a pair of shoes which you're seeking for, walking around, being quite comfortable, and you're not worried about the appearance, and the Vibram sole obviously means they're going to be good on rough terrain, quite easy to wear in various situations. Comfortable knocking around pair of shoes, I would say. I don't love them. I could think of many better pairs I would buy in their stead if it was my collection, but I'm not here to criticise, I'm just giving you my thoughts on the shoes. Moving down the casual collection, we're now going to Beckett Simonon. Now, Beckett Simonon, they've been around since 2011, and what we have here are white leather sneakers, the classic item which many men will have in their wardrobes for the summer months, where you want to dial down the formality of your outfit. Maybe you want to wear chinos somewhat turned up, maybe you want to wear these with a pair of shorts, and the classic white trainers or sneakers. Yeah, Beckett Simonon, good execution of that shoe, really, I think. Made in Colombia, most likely. Going to be in the $200 category, I believe. And yeah, the thing with white trainers, sneakers, the less adornments on them, the less features, the less unnecessary bits of, leather or, sort of decoration, the better. Keep it sleek, keep it simple, and you're going to have the best you can with a pair of white leather sneakers. The quality of the leather is going to make all the difference, and these are a nice pair, so no argument there. I do own a pair of white leather sneakers myself. Didn't actually wear them in 2023 in the summer. Summer's now past for me here in the UK, but I get it why people wear them. Moving on, we're now moving to a shoe manufacturer which is now defunct, no longer in operation. Back in Britain, back in Northamptonshire in fact, Alfred Sargent. They were around since 1899, and Northamptonshire brand, they were very well established, making a sort of mid-tier quality shoe, and they went into liquidation a few times. Initially, I think it was in the sort of 2009s, then they had a resurgence, but in 2021 they finally went to the wall. The factory and all of their sort of manufacturing tools were sold off, so they definitely ceased production. They've got an internet sort of presence, and I believe there's an offshoot company now operating under the Sargent name, but a different person. I think it's like Peter Sargent or something. But Alfred Sargent is what we're looking at here, and this is a double monk strap shoe by Alfred Sargent in tan. And yeah, I mean, if you like double monk strap, this is a pretty good execution of that model of shoe. Somewhat less formal, although I do see people wearing double monk strap with suits these days. For me, and this is a matter of personal taste, I've never loved double monk strap shoes. I've owned two pairs over the years, pair of Chini ones and some other brand. And for me, that apron where the two buckles, double monk strap, that apron which comes across where the laces would be, it just reminds me of a leather welding boot. Somebody who works in the welding industry, they always have that little apron across the front of the shoe to protect the foot from sparks. Whenever I see a double monk strap, that comes to mind, and it just kills it for me in my mind. But for a practical casual shoe, if you're wearing, say, chinos, maybe a pair of slacks, and it's a casual day, maybe at the yacht club, maybe chilling out, it's a good pair of shoes. And the tan colour, they will certainly go on a patina journey. The longer you own them, the more product you put on them. So the lighter tan colour does tend to take on a different character as the years unfold. I like it, but I wouldn't own it. And staying with Alfred Sargent, the last shoe we see in the collection is a dark brown suede chukka boot with a day-night sole. Now, you can't go wrong with this, I think. I mean, chukka boots are, again, very elegant, very wearable, and suede, again, it just ticks so many boxes. You can wear them with chinos, you can wear them with jeans, you can wear them with a suit, to be honest, a chukka boot. And dark brown suede, so versatile. You can wear it with pretty much any outfit. And with a day-night sole, you've got a pair of boots which will take you through the winter as well. Because day-night gives you more traction, more purchase on slippery, rough ground. It's just a really useful type of sole to have on a pair of boots, rendering them much more viable in the wetter months of the year. So all in all, this 8 shoe collection, summing them up, you've got a good collection of shoes there. You've got, 3, maybe 4 pairs of shoes which I would describe as being very formal. Definitely you can wear those Fifth Avenues, the Strands and the Park Avenues with a suit any day of the week. The Barker Baileys, very classic, very elegant, but all of your casual stuff as well. What do I see missing in this collection? Can I advise you to say that you've bought enough? No, I can't, sir. I see some omissions in your collecting schedule so far. First thing I would say, colour-wise, you've got no black shoes here at all. And I think every gentleman needs a black pair of shoes in the collection, even if it's only one pair. I get it, all right? You like browns, you like burgundies. I don't fall out with that at all. But you will need black. Black is the ultimate formal shoe. You will need it if you ever go to a funeral. Nothing other than black shoes is acceptable in a funeral in any world. So you will need a black pair. If you need to go to court for a reason, if you need to have a job interview for quite a formal, maybe high up job, black shoes are the way to go. Black gives you a great opportunity to get a fabulous mirror shine, but also it's somber for a reason. It's the most formal of all colours. If I was you, I would go for a black quarter brogue or a black semi brogue, which would be just a nice practical shoe to have in your collection. What can I suggest? Maybe something like a chini, which is an approachable middle-priced, well, I say middle-priced, they're going to be about 450 British pounds, but a chini Wilfred, which is a semi-brogue in black calf leather, that's going to round off your collection. It's still got the broguing, so you can press it into service in less formal situations, but you've got that black shoe there when you need it. Or if you want to go nuts and throw some money at this, Graziano and Girling, they make an amazing shoe called the Churchill. It's a handcrafted, beautiful black shoe. It's oak bark tanned soles, it's got everything going, but it's £750. But it is a pair of shoes which will carry you through life for all of the situations that come your way. And the only other thing I would say, you've only got one sort of boot there. I don't know where you live in the world, you omitted to tell me that, but I would like to see maybe a boot, a dress boot in maybe some broguing, because you clearly like a bit of broguing on your footwear. And I'm going to give you a recommendation now. Crockett and Jones make the most amazing boots in Northamptonshire, in England, globally available though, Crockett and Jones. They make a boot, a full brogue called the Islay boot. Now I believe this was the boot which was worn by Daniel Craig in the film Skyfall, when he was having the battle scenes in the Scottish Highlands at the end where the action was taking place. And it is a classic rugged boot. It's a Derby style lacing, it's dark brown Scotch grain leather, it's 595 British pounds, but it is a really beautiful boot, and it's a real classic which you'd have in your collection for life, I think. It's got a pretty rugged sole on it, so it's got you covered for the occasions where you need that extra traction in life. So there we go. I hope I have now been able to shed some light on your collection and where I think you need to go before we can say, I've got all I need. I think you just need, if there was one I would recommend, a black semi-brogue or quarter brogue, and we can knock it on the head. I don't think you will though. Shoe collecting and appreciation is definitely an addictive process. And I wish you well in ceasing buying any more, but I think you're going to have trouble. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like this, click subscribe. If you would like to send me an image of yourself, which I can cover here on the Am I a Chap series, or something like this, tell me about your shoe collection and ask for my observations, I'd be happy to do so. Drop me an email, and if you're sending me images, send me best quality images you can. It'll be the best for review here on the channel. So, don't forget, if you want to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee or become a patron. I make extra videos for my patrons every week, and we've got a different dialogue going on over there. And you can get involved with all that. All information is in the show notes below. So until the next time, like N91, cultivate an amazing collection of footwear which will carry you through life with your best foot forward. And I'll see you again very soon.